Hi, I'm Chris Wardlaw for CarGurus, and this is the redesigned 2019 Honda Insight. 20 years ago, the original Honda Insight was the first hybrid to go on sale in America. It had 2 seats and a funky teardrop shape, but it got amazing fuel economy. Honda's next Insight was a Prius copy, but it was smaller and cheaper and less satisfying than the Toyota. Now this third generation Insight adopts traditional 4-door sedan design and offers a bunch of interior and trunk space. Plus, it is undeniably more attractive than the Civic on which it is based. Should consumers looking for a practical, affordable, and efficient car consider the new Insight? Let's go for a drive and discuss. When you buy a Honda Insight, there are 3 trim levels to choose from. The base LX is priced from $22,830. The mid-level EX runs $24,060, and the top trim Touring costs $28,090. Now, you'll need to add $895 to each of those prices for destination charges. My test vehicle is the Insight Touring, and it doesn't have any dealer-installed accessories, so that means the window sticker reads $28,985, including the destination charge. So what are you getting for your 30 grand? Stylish 17-inch aluminum wheels for one, leather power adjustable seats for another. Touring trim also installs dual zone automatic climate control, heated front seats for winter, a power sunroof for summer, rain sensing wipers for rainy days, and fog lights for foggy days. You also get turn signal indicators on the outsides of the mirrors, a 10-speaker premium sound system, a navigation system with real-time traffic, and Honda Link subscription services with a Wi-Fi hotspot. All this stuff is installed in what is an attractive car. Oftentimes, hybrids seem to be ugly on purpose, either in order to draw attention to the fact that they're different, or because aerodynamic requirements dictate changes that ruin the styling. With the Civic-based Insight, though, Honda actually makes the hybrid version better looking than the vehicle on which it is based. It has a more tailored and grown-up rather than a jarring and exuberant look. Inside, the same is true. Both cars use the same basic dashboard, themes, and components, but the Civic has a more technical appearance, whereas the Insight is more upscale. In any case, genuinely good-looking hybrids are rare, but with the new Insight, Honda gets the styling and design recipe just right. With Touring trim, the Insight provides drivers with 8-way power seat adjustment. That really helps to make the car comfortable, though even with the seat raised, it still feels a little too low in relationship to the rest of the cabin. Front seat passengers are not as fortunate. This seat lacks height adjustment, and because the Insight is low slung to begin with, this makes graceful entries and exits more difficult because of the car's low hip point. The back seat is fairly roomy and comfortable, bordering on mid-sized territory. Thigh support is decent, leg space is good, and my size 13s tuck under the front seats. However, there are no air conditioning vents in the back, and there are no USB ports. They're not even available as a dealer-installed accessory like they are in the Accord. Trunk space is quite generous. The Insight LX and EX provide 15.1 cubic feet of volume, while the Touring offers 14.7 cubic feet due to the premium sound system components. Now there's no slot or grip for closing the lid though, so prepare to get your fingers dirty. When it comes to safety, every Insight is equipped with a reversing camera, automatic high beam headlights, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, and lane keeping assist systems. If you upgrade to EX or Touring trim, the Insight also has Lane Watch, which uses a camera to show what's in the car's right side blind spot. You can manually activate Lane Watch using a button on the end of the turn signal stalk, and it automatically activates when you signal a lane change or a turn. Now personally, I don't find this system as useful as a traditional blind spot warning system. First, it only works on the right side of the car. Second, it doesn't provide a warning or its video view of what's in the blind spot anywhere near the mirror where the driver is naturally looking before changing lanes, and that forces an extra reference point. Third, it doesn't come with a rear cross traffic alert system, which I happen to find really useful in parking lots and on my suburban street, which turns into a racetrack right about the same time our local school bells ring. If you get into an accident, know that the Insight is built to Honda's Advanced Compatibility Engineering structural standards, which are specifically designed for maximum occupant protection. And guess what? They work. The Insight is a top safety pick plus, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. In fact, this car gets top marks in every single assessment, from forward collision to latch anchors. I've never seen that before. And if you've selected the Insight Touring, you get a free 12-month trial to Honda Link Security Service, which includes automatic collision notification and SOS emergency calling. Additionally, the Touring trim includes Honda Link remote service, but that's only free for the first 3 months. This package includes remote engine starting and remote access to the locks, but it also provides important safe teen driver features related to curfew, speed, and geographic boundaries. You can also use it to find your car in case you forgot where you parked it, or if you think it might be somewhere that it shouldn't. Moving on to the infotainment system, the Insight's touchscreen display is really easy to use. Granted, it would be nice if Honda added a tuning knob to complement the power and volume knob, and it would also be great if there were more main menu shortcut buttons on either side of the screen, but this setup is better than some other recent Honda efforts. The voice recognition system is not terribly sophisticated though, and it forces you to use specific menus and commands, so you might as well just connect your smartphone to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and use that instead. The new Insight has a 1.5-liter gasoline engine, an electric motor powered by a lithium-ion battery, and an electronic continuously variable transmission. This is a traditional hybrid vehicle. You don't plug it in, you gas it up and you go until the fuel gauge gets close to empty, and then you gas it up again and you go again. With a combined 151 horsepower and a robust 197 pound-feet of electric motor torque from 0 to 3,000 RPM, the Insight can feel downright lively. As engine revs climb though, the CVT moans and groans, and that really detracts from the driving experience. If you switch to sport mode, the moaning and groaning is transformed into mumbling and grumbling, which is slightly better. The Insight also has a thrifty econ mode and an electric EV mode for low-speed driving, such as when you're in traffic or you're in a shopping mall parking lot. Now, the whole point of the Insight is to maximize fuel economy. The LX and the EX models are more efficient according to the EPA, and that's likely due to their lighter weight and smaller 16-inch wheels and tires. They're supposed to get 52 miles per gallon in combined driving. The Touring is less efficient. It's rated to get 48 miles per gallon in combined driving. But apparently, the way that you get 48 miles per gallon is to drive with the econ mode engaged in a flat area, using EV mode at every opportunity, and pretending that there's an egg under the accelerator pedal that if you press too hard is going to break and ruin your floor mats. On my mountainous test loop, the one I use for every single test car, driving the car in normal mode, like most normal people will, and with sport mode engaged for the twisty bits, and with EV mode engaged for the heavy traffic on the freeway, I only got 38.9 miles per gallon out of this car. Now, the last time I drove a Honda Civic Touring sedan on the same exact loop, it returned 34.1 miles per gallon. That's problematic, people, even if the Insight is just a couple grand more than the Civic. As far as driving dynamics go, the Insight is a pleasure unless you hate road and wind noise, and then you're not going to like being in here very much, going faster than 60 miles an hour. The ride quality is agreeable, the handling is impressive, the variable ratio steering is enjoyable, and the regenerative brakes avoid the usual stickiness and vagueness that's associated with hybrids. Now, are you going to want to autocross this thing? No. But you might pitch it around the occasional freeway ramp to add a little spice to your daily commute. You can boil the Insight Touring down to two numbers. The first is $2,000. That's approximately how much extra you're going to spend for this car over an equivalent Honda Civic. The second is 4.8. That's the number of extra miles per gallon you'll get from each gallon of gas while you're driving the Insight based on my testing. Now, is that worth the money and the droning transmission? That's your call. Be sure to read my full review of the Honda Insight at CarGurus, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us here at CarGurus, thank you for watching.